Hey guys, it's Strategist. Now, before I jump into my little story time here, I just want to let you know that the gameplay here is a bunch of arena runs. I'm using my new Bridelia and Fjorm combo, since Bridelia can definitely use those extra speed buffs. I might give her a brave bow sooner or later once I get the feathers, who knows. And Soren does not have Bowbreaker during this gameplay. So, this story is one from my youth. It was when I was in high school. I was about 16, I think. I was walking down the street, and you can picture generally regular town. It was a street that wasn't too busy, but had some traffic. It wasn't the main road, but it was a nearby one, so it wasn't exactly abandoned. We were walking by some storefronts and whatnot, but I was there with my girlfriend and her friend, who very much didn't like me, and probably rightfully so, because I was a douchebag. But at the same time, she was also a cunt, so I guess it kind of balanced out a little bit. We were just walking down, and coming the other way towards us is like one of the school bullies or whatever, and one of his dropout friends. This guy bullied plenty of people at the school, and he did it in such a way that everybody definitely knew he had some sort of home issues. So he wasn't exactly a successful bully, if you know what I mean. Nobody really took him seriously anyway, but you know how teenagers are. He starts talking shit, and I got pissed off. I talk shit back, because I ain't gonna, take it. I ain't gonna let him do that to me, even though in the broad spectrum of things, it didn't really fucking matter. You know, who really gives a shit if he calls you a name, right? Who gives a shit about that guy? But, my little teenage angst and bravado was taking the better of me, of course, and I was gonna kind of try and show off for the girlfriend. She was not in the least bit impressed, because the whole situation was dumb, and I'm kind of explaining it to you too. And fucking her friend was talking all this shit behind my back as we were, shouting with each other. They walk by, we're talking shit. Oh, you want to go? No, you want to go? That whole thing. And, I take it a step further, and I start picking up rocks off the ground and start chucking them at him. I don't hit them at all. I was a terrible shot, but it pissed them off enough that they started to walk back towards us, and we stand off at the corner of the street. They're like about 6 feet away from me. One of them was really short. The other one was about as tall as I was, 6 foot. The short guy's obviously talking all the smack. And he's wearing a pullover sweatshirt, and we're talking shit back and forth, and we're finally gonna do it. It's like, all right, we're gonna fight. And sweatshirt guy decides that right then, right there, right now was the perfect opportunity to take off his sweatshirt. Now I know what you're thinking. I wasn't going to cheap shot the guy yet. Because as he was trying to take it off, it got stuck, I guess. He couldn't get it off, so he hunched forward, bending over pretty much all the way, trying to shag this thing off, and I got impatient, so what do? I just fucking drop kick him in his stupid face. With the sweatshirt still stuck and over his head. So of course, during the punt, you just, hear and feel that, smashing, sinewy sound, like, I broke his nose, obviously. He reels back, falls on the ground, so the other dude bum rushes me, tries to tackle me, and we end up getting in a grapple, and we're trading punches here and there, and we kind of break, and I get ready to reel back, a nice right hook, and right as I shift my body backward, my momentum backward is when the dude that I floored not too long ago got up, and he put me in a sort of full Nelson kind of lock, but not really because I was fighting it. He was just holding me back, and I couldn't move my arms very well, so that's when the dude I was facing decided that was a good opportunity to hit me in the same spot in the chin 4 times in a row. Yeah, I didn't even feel a thing. The adrenaline was going hardcore, like hardcore. I didn't feel a goddamn thing, and after those 4 punches, the dude that was trying to hold me, I almost broke free, but he kind of stepped out of the way and tripped me and pulled me backward over his leg. But I don't land flat on my back. As I fall, I kind of catch myself in sort of that movie-esque kind of way. I roll with it. I catch myself and I roll with it, kind of like a combat roll, and I end up springing right back up within like a second or so, ready to fucking go again. Got my dukes up and shit. And like apparently within that 1 second, I rolled and just popped up back into a standing fighting stance again. Those two were like actually legitimately running. They almost got hit by a car. They took off through the street and ran away from me, and I was like, now what? Wait, what the fuck? Come back here, you pussies. I'm not done with you yet. You know, I was shouting at the top of my lungs and shit like, oh, I guess I win, huh? And like I said, you know, my girlfriend was not in the least bit impressed. You know, I got my bravado going, but, you know, I'm all high on my adrenaline and shit, so I ended up not caring. We end up going to our destination, which happened to be a comic store, comic and gaming store. We go inside, and I kind of feel like they might bring their posse back to me. So I actually happen to know the owner because I was a regular of the place. It was a nice hangout place, very small town. I let him know what's up and that they might come back. And if they do come back, if he calls the police, I'm willing to accept all the consequences and whatnot. Surprisingly mature now that I think about it. I always considered myself super immature back in the day. Anyway, so they do actually end up coming back. Oh, and the dude that I drop kick, he was profusely bleeding. His white pullover sweatshirt, front of it completely covered in nose blood. Anyway, the reason why this is relevant is this guy comes back with his older brother, who's apparently like in his 20s, I guess, another high school dropout, except this dude, of course, his name was Vinny, or nickname, at least. Name doesn't really matter because fucking never know who this guy is anyway. I barely knew who the guy was. He's actually a lot fucking shorter than his short younger brother. But he's cussing up a storm outside. They know where I'm at, but they don't dare go inside. God forbid they open the door. Nope, not that. Nope, just dancing around it. But what he was doing, however, was like pacing back and forth on the sidewalk outside the storefront. And the one thing he did do was like shouting up a storm. We couldn't really hear him anyway through the windows. But he did start like hitting the windows with like the palm of his hands, like he's forcefully pushing it, except it's almost like with the force and action of a punch, right? And he was hitting him in so hard that you could actually see the windows bow in and then wobble back and forth and then settle back down. So the moment he started doing those shenanigans, the owner called the police, and I was like, ah, crap, this is gonna be fun. So yeah, not much else story to tell about after that. The two guys, one little detail, the two guys brought 2 more dudes with them, so it was like a group of 4. They were all gonna gang up on me, apparently. But yeah, police came, took a bunch of statements, didn't do a heck of a lot other than give each and every one of us involved, me, the 2 guys, and then the 2 guys that they brought, each a disorderly conduct fine, which was hilarious, and I considered a W in my book because as soon as I got that fine, I just went ahead, took it over to the police station, and paid the fee immediately because at the time I actually had a job, so I had spending money. Granted, it wasn't a great feeling to pay $108 for quote-unquote no reason, really, because I didn't have to put myself in that situation in the first place, but it was a good feeling knowing that these asshole dropouts, these bullies, whatever, they definitely did not have the money to pay for even one of those fucking things, and I'm pretty sure their parents didn't have the fucking money either, so that they can take that huge fucking L. I was pretty smug with that kind of knowledge, but that's pretty much the story right there. Not much to it. Yeah, I didn't really see those guys again. I didn't get jumped or anything, so that's that. Got into a bit of a fight when I was younger. Do you like that story? It was kind of fun telling it. See you guys next time.